Good.
Whenever you're ready. So what you're going to use here is the 1200 PSI portable extractor. And on the extractor, you're going to have a couple things you're going to remember. This is going to be your dump tank right here. There's a filter in here. You're going to turn this. You're going to want to clean this out after every use. Make sure nothing's turned, spin it, and get it off. Clean it out and just put it back. It's going to go right back onto this piece here. It's going to turn in very easily. You see very easily. It's going to be a problem. And that's done. Nothing else in there you got to touch with. All right? It's going to line up with the white line right here to here. So you're going to back that in, put that down, spin that, lock that down. All right? In here, this is going to be your fresh water, so you're going to fill it up in here. Now, if you're doing tile and grout, you're going to use the autofill and auto dump. All right? Okay. First time you ever use it, I'll walk through everything. But first time you ever use it, you're going to hook this up into here. All right? Just the male and the female, let it click in, and you're going to let it bleed out to get all that antifreeze, or all the windshield washer fluid out, because you don't want that spraying on the person's foot. After that, anytime you fill this up, you're just going to plug it in there, and you're just going to put it right back into fresh water. You're going to filter any air out of the line, and you'll see air bubbles in here. When it's all water, you're just going to stop the machine, turn it off, and take it off. Okay. You don't have to worry about burning yourself with it because there's no heat. You do not want to put hot water in here; it'll mess up the pumps. You can use lukewarm water or just regular warm water. It can be a little bit. Don't put hot water in it because you don't want to break the pumps. That becomes very pricey. Don't let it freeze like we talked about. That becomes very pricey. On the back here, you have two hookups here. They have to be done on two separate breakers. So there's two extension cords here. They're going to light up orange when you're good. You're going to plug them in. You're going to know if you're on it because it will pop that breaker. You have to flip that breaker back on. So if you're going to use extension cords, that's fine, but make sure these are the ones plugged into the wall so you can see the orange lights on them. Okay? You're going to plug them in. You're going to go back there. You have your dump here, so back up. You should have an elbow. I don't see an elbow. I will get you an elbow. You're going to put the elbow on here so it's going to go down if you're doing carpet. Because the carpet, you're not going to go autofill, auto dump. You're just going to lift that up, all just going to pour out. So make sure you're near a sink. You may want to pull it up slow just to make sure it doesn't fly out at you. Yeah. All right? Here's your gauge right here to turn your PSI up and down. And here's your meter for your PSI right here. Carpet's going to be about 400. Hard surface is going to be about 9 to 1,000. All right? Now, if you're hitting there and you're sitting there and your gauge is down and you have your wand hooked up and it's nothing, you actually have to hit the trigger to get the pressure to go. Okay. So don't worry about if it says 0 and you have it turned down. Hit the trigger, then you'll know where you're at. Okay. All right? You're going to have truck. You don't have a truck mount. You don't really worry about this. It's an inline filter for a truck mount. Okay? This is for the bottom of the spinner there. The brushes on it. This is your back hose right here, 25-foot back hose. You're going to put that right onto here and on either end of whatever machine or other piece of equipment you're using there, a back hose. You're going to have your hoses. This is going to be for your auto dump. It's going to go right here with a little gold. You can take that off, unscrew that, put this on there, put it to either the outside or job sink, deep sink, whatever you're working on. You can extend off that if you do need to. You're going to have your autofill. That end's going to go to your water source. That end's going to go to right here.
So that's the autofill?
This is the autofill.
Okay.
Water source into here, you're going to click it in, then you have your autofill here. There is a gauge inside of here, a little ball valve here. That will raise up, and that'll tell you when it's empty and when it's full. It'll do it itself. Okay? This is your solution line. Your solution line is going to plug right into here, and then your other end is going to plug either onto right here for your spinner, or right here for your wand. All right. You have the same setup with your counter tool. Right here. Goes in there for your water. Goes in here for. I'll get you an adapter. I just realized you need an adapter for that because you got to go onto there for your vac line. Actually, you could use. I'm sorry. Come right up the vac line into that. So that way it'll give you a little more line. All right. You have the one thing I forgot last time I was here. I apologize. You have another filter right in here. That's going to get unscrewed, taken off, and cleaned out. The trick to that is you cannot wet the motor right here. So what we recommend people do is get like a can, like a bean can or something like that. Put that under there so any water that may come out of there will drop right in that can. And you can see in it right now, the pink, that is the windshield washer fluid.
Okay.
So you'll see that right in that line. That's the one you want to clean every so often to make sure that it's cleaned out and working properly. But do not wet that motor. All right. You have all your buttons right here. You want to turn them all on to get all your vacuum 2, your solution pump, and then your water or waste pump. Okay. So it's going to be your sucking, you're pushing, you're sucking, and then your vacuum lines here as well. Keep this with the machine. What am I missing, Len? Oh, grout level. So your solution is grout level. You do have 2 cases here. You're going to put that in a pump-up sprayer with the water, however many ounces it may need. Break your area off into sections. Spray it down, let it sit for 7 minutes. You could hit it with a grout wand to help get the aggression on it to help clean it a little easier, and then go after it with the actual spinner. Not the solution here with no tile and grout. All your solution is going to be done with a pump-up sprayer prior. So like I said, just break it off into quadrants or however many you need to do. Spray it down, let it sit for 7 minutes. Don't let it dry. Let it sit for 7 minutes, and then go after it with the spinner. All right. If you let it dry, you got to respray it. Let it do the process again. And the thing about it is, it's very slick, so be careful when stepping on it. All right, it's going to turn it into an ice rink real quick.
Okay.
Sounds good. I think that's it.
All right.
Honestly, I think that's it.
Got a couple questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, you can put like extractor rinse in here.
So if you're going to use this for carpet or something like that, you're going to put a rinse in there, because your pre-spray is going to make that carpet real stiff. Actually, you're using commercial, so it won't be real stiff. But yes, you could put a rinse in there. When dealing with carpet, yes. Do not put your pre-spray in there.
Okay.
All right?
And also, the first time you use it, you said
every time you use it for the first time, put that in there and turn all the switches on and let it filter back into here so you're not wasting the clean water. Just keep pushing the clean water right back into there.
Okay.
Every time you use it.
Okay. Cool. So you put this in here.
Yep.
Put the water in here. Turn all the buttons on.
Yep.
And
It's going to start. Yep. It's going to start pushing all the fluid through. You'll see it. You'll see the air bubbles come through,
gotcha.
And then you're clean. The very first time you use it, don't keep it in there because you're filtering through that window washer fluid. So just have it. You could in a sink, in a slop sink or something like that. Yeah, just to get it all out, and you'll see it once the color becomes clear.
Okay, so it'll go through the air and
yep,
come out here.
It'll come out there. And remember, we saw it in that line down there.
All right.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions?
No.
If you have any questions, you have both of our cell phones. You guys can always call us. We'll be happy to help you. I think that's it. But the big thing is, remember, to grout level, pre-spray, not in the machine. Let it sit for 7 minutes. Hit it with a grout wand if you want to kind of speed it up.
Yeah.
And then go after it with the spinner. The spinner will pull it all through, autofill, auto dump. Because if you don't autofill, auto dump, you'll run out of this 12.5 gallon tank in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
And you're only using autofill, auto dump, not on carpet.
Not on carpet. You don't need it on carpet.
Oh, with the wine, right?
Yeah.
You can hook the wine straight in here, right? With the hose?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just like a regular pressure wine.
Exactly.
All right.
Yep.
The one has we touched the hose and we touched the solution line.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
It's the same setup on there.
All right. Cool. And that's about it.
Fair enough?
Yep.
All right, cool.
That's it.